Welcome again, Scorpio. It's October 2016. Dadhichi Toth here from astrology.com.au with your month in focus, an astrological assessment, just skimming the surface of what's going on in terms of your sun sign Scorpio. Look, there's some important things happening this month and opening out. We've talked about this the last couple of months where some of the difficult transits, we saw that Mars-Saturn transit, thank God. You're moving out of that now. You've got Venus, the seventh ruler, transiting your sun sign. That's always very nice. It makes you more popular again, just as when you thought you'd lost all that beautiful scorpionic magnetic energy. It's coming back now. You'll start to see that by virtue of the fact that it is attracting new people, new business opportunities, new relationships into your life. And what a better way to start the month than having the new moon in your 12th house with Jupiter transiting this area as well. This is a very significant house from a spiritual angle. It's not always the best house to look forward to because it generally indicates a giving away, an attrition, a transcending of the purely material concerns that you have in your life. It's one which brings you back in tune with who you are in the spiritual dimension. If you looked at the opening introduction today, Scorpio, I was talking very much about this, this new perspective I'm employing in reading charts on a personal level, what I call destiny engineering, a form of self-empowerment that helps you use that newfound energy to direct yourself to exactly where it is you want to go, in a sense engineering the pathway for yourself. But really this 12th house new moon that takes place on the 1st of October in the company of Jupiter, a very close friend of yours astrologically, we see the in-depth connection you have with yourself, the breaking through of a lot of the, I suppose, bad habits or traits of character that have been holding you back. These are the negative traits that you need to rid yourself of. The funny thing is, sometimes the more effort you make at this, the harder it is to break free of those things. And you know, it's sort of like this whole concept of spirituality is not something that can be enforced. I mean, we can try to discipline ourselves, but when the real breakthroughs take place, they are as natural as falling asleep and waking up. It's sort of like you're not actually doing anything to make that happen. And that's precisely what I see here for you with this lovely new moon in the 12th house. An opportunity for you to reconnect with that spiritual component of your nature, to bring with it all of the love and the goodness that is essentially what people are attracted to. It's that you bring to the work that you do, to the relationships that you have, to the negotiations that you're about to encounter. And later in the month, on the 16th, we see the very important full moon. That's the other polarity of the new moon, the full moon, in the 6th house of work and service. You know, for too long you've been preoccupied with this idea that you're probably not getting as much as you think you deserve for what you do, shown by Saturn transiting in your 2nd house of income. That is a big test for you, and of course it's in a very powerful right angle right now to the North Node. Mercury's also just made a right angle to that. So you've been a little bit serious again. Fortunately, Mercury's fast moving. And the South Node. So this karmic axis and Saturn, what we call a T-square, occurring in your 2nd house of finances, means that you have to use this newfound spiritual knowledge to break free of the notion that you can only measure everything you're doing by how much you're earning, by how many accolades you're getting. That's not at all the truth. What I'm asking you to look at here through this new moon, full moon, axis in the 12th and 6th house of your horoscope is this whole new, fresh approach to measuring the value of your work, your experiences, not simply in monetary terms. Measure it in terms of, for example, peace of mind, a sense of love, output creatively, goodness you bring, and the help you elicit to others. These are all the different ways in which you can re-establish the value of what you're doing. And by doing that, you're going to break free of some of these lingering patterns of dissatisfaction, especially with yourself, personal dissatisfaction. Venus moves out of the sign of Scorpio, your sun sign. That occurs on the 18th, straight after the full moon. Again, we're talking about value. So the second house, which is where we find Saturn, is going to be part of that conjunction with Venus later in the month, on the 30th to be exact. So here we see the coming together of other people, the way you're doing business with others. You could fall back into old habits again there, expecting people to do things on your terms, to have the same value system as you. That's not going to happen, and that itself could be part of the problem you're experiencing in this cycle of your life. You have extremely high standards, and particularly where it comes to money, the way you do your work. We're seeing that particularly with the full moon and also the transit of Venus in your second house, the second half of the month, really getting up your nose. So breathe. Get back into that spirituality, that dimension of the 12th house new moon that I'm talking about. This is where you're going to find the key to really working through a lot of these areas. We see Mars moving through your third house. It's giving you a lot more drive and energy now. So you must use that intelligently. You could get rather aggressive when Mars, your co-ruler, conjoins the main ruler of Scorpio. That takes place on the 19th. You see what's happening there, 16th, 18th, 19th, very important part of the month for you. That's when I think things could unravel. You've done all this really, really good work. Containment is the key word for you this month, Scorpio. I'd like to talk more about this for you next month. You know, you've got some great opportunities there. I'd like to invite you to check out the site, astrology.com.au, get more information on this month, but more importantly, to consider the whole new perspective, as I've been talking about in the introduction, on the destiny engineering, that self-empowerment, which helps you to manufacture and to engineer exactly what it is that you want through an understanding of your horoscope. And this is really just skimming the surface. These monthly readings that I give, I don't spend more than 5 to 7 minutes giving you a brief synopsis. But this is just scratching the surface, as I said. And the whole beauty of this is the destiny engineering, where we can get down into the nitty-gritty of it and look at the remedial aspects of astrology, which is one of my specialties over 30 years through my associations in India for the last 21 years. So I invite you to that personal opportunity to sit with me face to face, to go through systematically, not just once, but even on an ongoing basis, to really unravel and help see your life blossom in the way that you want it to. So till next month, take care. Visit me there, astrology.com.au. You know where to find me. And I hope that's where I'll find you on the other end of this camera next month again. Bye-bye now.